All right, hey, what's up guys? It's Roy here, and with this video, I want to do a size comparison and kind of button placements and all kinds of different little comparisons between the dummy phone that I have here, which is the S22 model, and the Samsung Galaxy S21. That's the actual phone. Now, I got this in the mail today, and I was really excited to try to do this comparison because as soon as I took it out of the box, I immediately noticed a major difference in the hand versus the S21. So like I said with this video, I'm going to do a quick comparison, put them side by side. So let's go ahead and start with just the initial look of the S22. So with this one here, as you can see, this is going to be a dummy model that a case company sent me that they use whenever they're making cases. So all the cases so far that I've been sent for the S22, this fits perfectly on all of them. So this is definitely a great representation of exactly what the S22 is going to look like. Now, the only thing I think that might be a little different is the camera bump here. With this one, I see these very prominent silver rings around the lenses. And with a lot of the renders that I've seen, I haven't seen this prominent silver ring. I've only seen more of the actual black rings around it. So to be determined once this phone comes out, if this is actually going to have those types of rings or not. But like I said, just the overall first impressions of the phone is that one, it's a very lightweight phone. It's supposedly going to be around 167 grams versus the S21, which was 169 grams. So not a huge difference, but with it being a lightweight small phone, that is something I very much welcome. Yeah, let's go ahead and just kind of look at it real quick. And now let's go ahead and grab my S21 here. And as you can see here, I have the graphite version here, which is a really great color. But as you can see, they did decide to go into a black color with the S22. And of course, there's going to be multiple colors to choose from. So I'm really excited about getting a black S22. Don't get me wrong, I love the graphite, but black is where it's at. Now, just from the initial, just looking at it, as you can see here, the camera bumps are going to look a little bit different. So as you can see with the S21, you have it kind of bleeding into the edges, as you can see. And at the end of the day, that is something that I'm a big fan of. But with this one here, with the S22, it kind of stops right at the bezels. So as you can see there, it definitely kind of gives that S21 Fan Edition vibe that it stops right here. And it's definitely got some sharper edges as well versus the S21 Fan Edition. The S21 kind of has more of a molded into the camera bump. But as you can see here with the S21, they're very similar. So similar in a lot of ways, but different in a lot of ways too. So like I said, that's kind of the look there. That's the way it looks right here. So once again, as you can see with the S21, it does bleed in. Another big difference that you can tell right off the bat, guys, is the size. So as you can see here, the S21 is a little bit bigger versus the S22. So with the screens, the S21 is a 6.2 inch screen, and this is going to be a 6.06 inch screen. So as you can see, the difference definitely is there. And this is a little bit different aspect ratio as well. So it's not as tall. So you have a little bit of a wider phone, but it's a smaller screen. So as far as like the one-handed operations, it's going to be a lot easier on the S22 versus the S21, which don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the screen size on the S21. But when it comes down to just the ability to use the phone with one hand, this is definitely going to pack a better punch versus the S21. Now, as far as the sides go, as you can see here, very similar. So you got the antenna bands here, nothing on this side, so no Bixby buttons or anything like that. And then going to this side, as you can see, the button placement is a tad bit different. So if you look here and compare the two, so if I kind of try to put them side by side, which is kind of hard since this phone's a little smaller, you can kind of see there how the button placements are now. So instead of it having like a long button here for the volume up and down, This one's kind of got some shorter buttons that are split. And so as you can see there, it's just a little bit different look versus how the S21 is. And then the power button's pretty much identical, but these look just a little bit flatter and not so skinny. But once again, this is a dummy phone, so the buttons might end up being a little bit different. But just overall, looking at the first impressions of it, the buttons are similar, but like I said, a little bit different. And a big thing too is obviously with the S21, with that camera bump bleeding into the side, you can kind of see that the volume up and down button was kind of a part of that right there, where with the S22, it is not. So as far as the bottom of the phone goes, as you can see here, very similar. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of put them together here. And you'll be able to see that we have the USB-C ports, we got the mics on this side. With the dummy phone, there is no SIM tray or anything like that, but obviously I gotta imagine it's gonna be there, just how all the other Samsung devices are. And then that's kind of the look of the speaker grills. So very similar bottom, but one thing to look at here is that it looks very similar in width. But for whatever reason, the S22 seems to be a little more squared off versus the S21. Once again, this is a dummy phone, so it might be different with the final production, but that's just kind of the look there. And then at the top, I'll go ahead and flip it over. At the top here with this one, you see two mic cutouts here, and then there's just one on this one. So to be determined if this is going to be the final layout and look, but that's kind of how it looks there. And then as far as comparing the top of the phones here, as you can see, you're definitely getting the hole punch cameras at the top. But with the S22, you can kind of tell that the speaker grill kind of is a little more prominent looking. Just by looking at the reflection here, you can kind of see where that bezel kind of goes and then ends with it. And here it's just a little more seamless where it's like underneath or tucked in here. So once again, to be determined if that's going to be the final design. But from all the things that I've been reading about the S22 is it's going to have a really great bezel-less look. But once again, that's not to knock the S21 because it also had a fantastic screen as well. But now the S22, it's got this high gloss black color. As you can see, it's a fingerprint smudge magnet. Granted, this is a dummy phone, so the material is probably going to be a little bit different. Now, I've heard that it might be plastic. I've also heard that it might be a glass back. Now, I'm not sure. Obviously, with the S21, it does have that glastic back, which does have a really nice matte finish and does help avoid fingerprints, but occasionally you'll get the smudges and things like that on it. So once again, to be determined with the final version of the S22, if this model is very similar where it's more of a glossier black. So there you have it, guys. Unfortunately, obviously I can't go into a deeper dive, but this is just my overall first impressions of the dummy phone versus the real S21. But yeah, guys, there you go. So let me know what you think. Do you like the new look of the S22? Do you like the smaller form factor versus the S21? So yeah, I'm just curious. I personally am a big fan of the smaller phone. I've been really enjoying smaller phones over and over lately. Just a lot easier to use. But maybe I'm out of the norm there. But like I said, comment down below and let me know what y'all think. So hit that like button, guys, if you like the video. If you love it, please subscribe and ring that notification bell for up-to-date content. When I do get the new S22 in my hands, I will be doing an unboxing and all my first impressions videos and all that stuff. So stay tuned for those. So be safe. God bless. We'll see you on the next one.